can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like me. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque yo no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. And I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the WAG show. This is episode 67. I'm your host, Ben Hostler. We are here to talk about today's best bets for Wednesday, May 17th. Today's stream sponsored by Jelly Belly Juicy Pear Jelly Beans. So shout out to Jelly Belly. If you guys think that there's any better flavor than Juicy Pear, you're just wrong. It's the best jelly bean flavor that there is. Obviously, I assume Jelly Belly's watching the stream since they're sponsoring. So if you guys ever want to send some free Juicy Pear jelly beans my way, I would greatly appreciate it. Go out to the store tonight, get yourself some Juicy Pear jelly beans, and enjoy them while you're sweating out your bets. Today's going to be a quicker stream probably. There's not a ton going on. We have a smaller baseball slate. We have the one NBA playoff game. So we'll pull up the predictor. We'll look at some NBA props maybe. I really have one bet I like for baseball. And I did give it out to premium. So I'm going to give it out on this show too, because it's really the only bet that I feel like remotely confident in. Yesterday, 1 in 1 day on the premium bets for me. We did hit our play of the day, though, which was a 1.6 unit play. The Texas Rangers went down 1-0. We had them first 5 money line, and they went down 1-0. Adolis Garcia hit a 3-run home run. They cruised to an easy cash on that. So, I mean, we're hitting well above 75% on the plays of the day since March Madness. Up over 15 units for the season in baseball. I am down 1 unit to start the day, though, because we had the Tigers they're losing 8-0. So, this similar to my Twins detox. I don't bet on the Detroit Tigers a lot, but I might just have to just file them under the detox, go on a Tigers cleanse, and I'm not going to be looking to bet on the Tigers anytime soon. I mean, they have the Tigers. Rich Hill looks like Sandy Koufax pitching against the Tigers. The guy's throwing 81-mile-an-hour cutters, and they cannot touch it, dude. It's insane. I watched 2 innings, and I turned it off. I immediately knew it was a loss, and I couldn't stomach watching it any further. If you guys have any bets you would like to talk about, though, drop in the chat. Someone asked who I thought would win the basketball game tonight. Definitely will take Celtics. 8 points is a lot, though. I don't know if I want to lay that 8, but you know what? Yeah. If you're looking for a play on basketball, I think I do like Celtics -8. I think they're the better team. Miami's definitely been playing above their heads a little bit. I can't discount what Jimmy Butler's done, but as a team, I think they've been playing a little bit above their head. I think the Celtics are going to take this in 5 games, honestly. And they're at home here, so I do think Celtics -8 is probably fine. I think the Celtics definitely win tonight. Someone said something about Joker. Dude, what a performance from our guy last night. Absolute joke that he didn't win MVP. Joke on ESPN. I don't know what the stat is, but the people on ESPN that have MVP votes, he only got like a couple first place votes of the people on ESPN. I mean, it's just a joke. It shows you how far, like, it shows you how much the content on ESPN has fallen off. There's so many people on there that don't know what they're talking about. And it's not even that they don't know what they're talking about, because a lot of them, like, a lot of the people that have these absurd takes are former players. So it's not even that they don't know the game. It's simply that it's almost turned into, like, sports media has almost turned, it's gotten as bad, in my opinion, as politics. Everything is about pushing agendas. There's very, very few people that give actual, like, real, unbiased, unfiltered takes that have analysis behind them. Pretty much everyone on the TV is pumping some sort of agenda. And one of the agendas for NBA was this anti Nikola Jokic agenda. I don't understand what this guy has to do for people to acknowledge him as the best player in the NBA. For the longest time this season, he wins back-to-back MVPs, and then the whole thing this season is, oh, well, he hasn't done in the playoffs. First of all, that's not even a real narrative, because if you went and looked at his playoff stats, he absolutely dominated. He just played on bad teams. He did play well in the playoffs. Then he comes out this year, again, balling out in the playoffs. People are starting to get the notice now, like, because what else you can say? For the longest time, that was the thing. Oh, well, he hasn't played like that in the playoffs. Well, he has, and he has this season. So I don't know what they're going to say now, but yeah, it's all about agendas. Mark Jackson, I love that Mark Jackson had to call that game last night of Nikola Jokic going off after he didn't include him in the top 5 of his MVP ballot. I think that was poetic. And I don't think Jokic is someone that cares about that kind of stuff, but I hope that he, like, purposely did that because Mark Jackson was calling that game, because it's just absurd on Mark Jackson. Like, you can't say Mark Jackson doesn't know the game of basketball because he's played in the NBA, he's coached, but it's simply just pushing an agenda to not put him in the top 5 of your MVP ballot. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Now, I do think that I can see both sides for that game, because someone asked my thoughts on this rest of the series. I can see both sides. I think you could paint the case of the Lakers like, oh, like, Jokic just did that and the Lakers almost won. I also think you could paint it on the Nuggets side of, like, the Nuggets were easily winning that game, and then the Lakers had a really good chance at the end to steal that game, and they didn't. So I think you can paint both sides of it. I still think the Nuggets are the better team, but I wouldn't be shocked to see the Lakers are going to make adjustments. They made a big adjustment in that game, going to Rui on Jokic, which helped them. But, I mean, the Nuggets are going to make adjustments back. It's going to be a good series. I still think it's probably, I don't know, man. I think it would be tough to – it's going to be tough to beat Denver in Denver. They're so good there. So if the Lakers win both at home, it's probably going to go – I could see it going 7 maybe. I hope it goes 7, because that game was really good last night, so I'm excited to watch the rest of the series. I think that one will probably go 6 or 7. I think the Celtics will win in 5 games. I wonder what you can get. Let's see. See if you can get odds on. Yeah, Bruce Brown played very well, to whoever said that in chat. Agree. We talked about it yesterday. I said I was kind of hating on the Nuggets roster early in the season, but a lot of their role players have really stepped up. KCP, very, very solid role player. Was on the Lakers when they won the title in the bubble. Bruce Brown, very good. Jeff Green, I think, is an underrated role player. And then we can't overstate how well Michael Porter Jr. has played for the majority of the playoffs. Like, that was a big question mark coming into this season, and he's really played well. And I thought that I liked what he said about, like, that report came out that he told Malone he was fine if Bruce Brown closed over him because he just wants to win. It seems like he's bought in, and he's been playing very, very good, and that's very important for them. Let's see here. Correct score. Celtics 4-1 is plus 210 on FanDuel. I like that. I like that. I definitely like that at plus 210. Considering they're minus 550 for the series, I don't hate trying to guess the right game score there. All right, we'll pull up the prize picks here in a little bit. We'll look at NBA props. I'll run through the baseball slate pretty quickly. There's not a ton going on here. We're going to start with this. These games are starting now, so we'll go down here to the 4-10 game Royals-Padres. We were a day early on the Royals. They played much better yesterday than they did. So it's funny that we bet on the Royals and Michael Wacha has like a no-hitter going into the 7th, and then the next night, they're up 5-0 on the start of the game. So we were a day early on the Royals. In terms of pitching matchup, Darvish is going for the Padres, which is why they're minus 275 favorites. I'm not going to be touching this game. You could honestly sprinkle the Royals again at plus 220, or you could consider the over 8.5. Now that moved down to from 9 to 8.5, you could look at the over. Darvish he's been okay this year, but not like the elite Darvish that we've seen in the past, and I don't really know. Minus 270 is a lot for him, so you could sprinkle the Royals again, but I probably won't be touching anything in this game. Are we going back to Smart? Potentially. We will talk about that. Potentially. Angels, Orioles, Griffin Canning, Kyle Bradish. Kyle Bradish is pretty good. You guys know I'm a fan of his. He's a minus 155 favorite here. 75% of the bets have come in on the Orioles, but almost 90% of the money, so some big wagers have come in on them. I'm not a huge Griffin Canning guy. He's okay. There is some sharp money coming on the under. It's kind of decent pitching weather here, I think. I don't think it's as hot. So that's kind of probably the reasoning for that. But I would definitely lean Orioles in that game if I was picking a side. Nationals, Marlins, Mackenzie Gore, Edward Cabrera. Two good young pitchers. Cabrera struggles with his control. Mackenzie Gore has been really good for the Nationals this year. I'm impressed. I'm happy. We talked about it in his last start, but this was the top pitching prospect in baseball at one point. He was the centerpiece of this Juan Soto trade, and he's starting to play pretty good. So you can see that that money coming in. I think that this is a good spot to take the Nationals. You can notice here that the Marlins opened up at minus 140. They're getting 59% of the bets and over half the money. But that line has dropped sharply towards the Nats. They've dropped from Marlins have dropped from minus 140 to minus 115. So definitely some line movement there that indicates it's a good spot for the Nationals. And I'm definitely willing to bet on Mackenzie Gore. So I might add the Nationals to my card here at minus 105. And maybe I might bet them first 5 or something, to be honest. But definitely have a little interest in the Washington Nationals after seeing that line movement. Yankees, Blue Jays, Garrett Cole versus Chris Bassett. I cannot believe Garrett Cole is a minus 110 favorite. Not even a favorite, just minus 110. Basically a pick 'em. I can't remember a time we've ever seen Garrett Cole at minus 110 odds. I mean, typically he's a pretty decent favorite just because he's Garrett Cole. So I think that's pretty interesting. Obviously, the majority of the money is coming in on the Yankees, given that it's the Yankees and they have Garrett Cole. But I would not be looking to bet this game, really. You could take a little shot on the Blue Jays maybe, but probably just an avoid here for me. I think it's really interesting that Garrett Cole's only a minus 110. Seattle Mariners, Boston Red Sox, Bello against Marco Gonzalez. Bello has looked decent for the Red Sox. He had a really, really bad first start when they first brought him up, but he's been much better. Had a pretty decent start against the Braves recently. Much better pitching weather than hitting weather in Fenway. It's been really hot there the last few days, but today the wind's blowing in. It's a little bit cooler, which is why that total dropped from 10 to 9.5. I'm not a big Marco Gonzalez guy, so I definitely would lean towards the Boston side of this, and I do have some sort of confidence in Bello. I think he's a decent young pitcher, and I think he's going to keep getting better, so definitely lean towards the Red Sox there. Rays and Mets, Kodai Senga versus Fleming. The Mets really let me down last night. I was pretty convicted on them yesterday. They did score 5 or 6 runs, but I mean, they gave up, so many. Like, if you would have told me before the game that they scored 5 runs, I would have felt pretty good with my Mets pick. I don't know. Senga's kind of struggled after his first few starts. He's walking a lot of guys. I definitely don't want to bet against the Rays any more than I have to, so I would probably avoid this game, but I don't know. If you guys wanted to bet the Mets, I would understand it, but it's just tough to go against the Tampa Bay Rays. Brewers Cardinals. This is an interesting one. We have Corbin Burns against Liberatore. The Cardinals are calling up Liberatore. I think he's going to be much better than what we saw last year. His strikeout rate is up in the minor leagues this year. This is one of their better pitching prospects. His ground ball rate is up in the minor leagues this year as well. So, and I don't love what I've seen from Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns has not looked great. He's gotten pretty lucky in terms of his batting average on balls in play. He's been straining a lot of runners. So if you're when I started the stream, there was one baseball bet I like the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. I think that they have a really, really good shot to win this game. You can get them at basically a pick 'em. So the Cardinals are my favorite play, but I'm going to add the Nationals. So the Cardinals and the Washington Nationals on the money line, that's going to be my 2 baseball plays for today. Atlanta Braves, Texas Rangers, Spencer Strider, Nathan Eovaldi. Very, very good pitching matchup here. Tough to go against Strider. I think I would just bet on him most of his starts. So if you wanted to take a shot on the Braves at minus 150, I don't hate it because I think that he is the best pitcher in baseball. Best pitcher in the NL. Him and Ohtani, I think, are the best pitchers going right now. I also want to take this time to mention there's a very, very good futures bet you can take advantage of on FanDuel. If you go under player awards, it dropped from today. It dropped from plus 700 to plus 650, but you can get Ronald Acuna to win the MVP and Spencer Strider to win the Cy Young combined together for plus 650. I like that. I think if they stay healthy, the Braves are going to win their division and they're going to have one of the better records. And I think that they're the clear favorites right now. Zach Gallen is up there as well. He's actually the slight favorite over Spencer Strider. But assuming that these guys stay healthy and they make all their starts, it's going to be hard for Strider not to win the Cy Young because he's going to strike out so many batters. I mean, he's on pace right now to strike out like over 320 batters. And if he makes all of his starts, it's going to be tough for him to not win the Cy Young, I think. And Acuna is pretty heavy favorite. He's plus 140 to win MVP. The next closest is Fernando Tatis Jr. at plus 1,200. So plus 650 on the combo of Acuna to win MVP and Strider to win Cy Young over on FanDuel Sportsbook. I think that's a pretty good bet to make. Closing up here, we have the Houston Astros and the Chicago Cubs. Drew Smyly against JP France. Don't love anything here. Honestly, don't want to bet on the Astros with how they've looked. And, I don't know. Drew Smyly, he's someone I like to bet on in those, since he's so dependent on his fly balls. He's someone I like to back when he's in Wrigley and the wind's blowing in, colder weather. I'll probably just avoid this game. And then last game of the night, we have Cleveland Guardians, Chicago White Sox. Mike Clevenger, revenge game against his former team. Battenfield going for the Guardians. Guardians really let me down yesterday, but we didn't have that news that Jose Ramirez was going to be out when I said I liked them. So that obviously really affected things considering he's their best hitter. And they don't have a lot of good hitters. So taking him out of their lineup, that's a really big just negative as a whole. So if I would have known that Jose Ramirez news on the stream, I probably would not have recommended the Guardians. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, he's not going to be on there. He's not going to be in the lineup tonight either. So I'll just avoid here altogether. So if you guys joined late for baseball, I like the Cardinals on the money line. I like the Nationals on the money line. And then I gave out a futures pick as well, which you can go back and listen to. Before we head out, I will pull up the prize picks predictor. Let's take a look at this NBA game tonight. I'm assuming the predictor's going to like Marcus Smart. And it does, yes. His line's at 14. We have him at 15. I will say he's not as good of a play at 14 and a half. Like then I think 2 weeks ago we were getting him regularly at 11 and a half. Now it's 14 and a half. Like it's not as good, but I do think that he can go over that again. So I don't hate it. I don't hate his PR. I might actually like his PRAs a little bit better, 22.5. Kepka and Rom to shoot 70 or better. Yeah, we didn't really talk a ton about golf, but if you guys get in the Discord, go to betkarmachat.com, go to the BetKarma app and click the chat room link. Either way gets you into the Discord, but you can get in the Discord for free and you can see all the free channels. You just won't be able to see the premium channels unless you sign up for a membership. But the golf betting channel is free. So AC puts his picks in there. I've put some picks in there. So you guys can get some golf bets in there. I don't hate that bet that you just put in there. My favorite kind of long, like for outrights, I like some of the long shots this week. Joaquin Neiman at 90-1. I like Keegan Bradley at 90-1. Those are kind of like my long shots. And I'm definitely going to make some top 40 parlays with some guys. And I might post one in the Discord tonight. So the golf bets you can get for free in our Discord. You just have to join and make a free BetKarma account and link your Discord to it. The golf betting channel is free. AC's posted his outright picks in there. AC's very good at golf betting. So I trust him. And then I posted some in there. I'm going to post a top 40 parlay in there as well later tonight. Sean, what's up? Yeah, it's a short stream today. There's not a lot going on. I did give out 2 MLB picks and an MLB futures pick, so you can go back and rewatch that. We're just kind of looking at props here. I don't know. Marcus Smart PRAs looks kind of good to me, but I don't know. Bam rebounds. Yeah, the predictor slight lean on his over. Prize Picks has his line at 9, but the books have his line at 8.5. So if you have a sports book, I do like Bam over 8.5 rebounds. I think that's fine. The 9, that's a little bit tougher for me to recommend, but I do like that 8.5 number on the books. Home run picks. Yeah, I did. I put my article out. I didn't tweet it out yet, but it is live on the website. I only had one pick for today because it's a shorter slate. It was Randy Arozarena. So if you guys want, pretty decent odds, 5-1 on him to hit a home run tonight. So some decent odds. White at 7.5, only like if it starts. If he starts, agree. I think that's fine. Speaking of starting, I wouldn't be shocked. I think the Lakers might shake up their starting lineup after last night, so that's something to watch for. Maybe tomorrow, earlier on in the day, you could take advantage of maybe some lines on some guys because I do think we could see a starting lineup change. So that is something to keep your eye out on tomorrow. Randy's been good. I think I've hit Randy home run 3 times this year already, so I'm going back to the ball tonight. Senga has given up 5 home runs in the last 5 starts. He throws a lot of fastballs. Randy, very, very good fastball hitter, so I think it's a decent little spot. Vanderbilt at 4.5. That's what he's usually at. Yeah, we could see more Vanderbilt in game 2. Rui, I think Rui will probably start, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. They used Rui so heavily on Jokic late in that game. It would not shock me to see him find his way into that starting lineup. Overall, though, thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, Thursday, not sure what the baseball slate looks like tomorrow. Sometimes Thursdays are a little bit watered down. So I'll bring some NFL stuff to talk about or something. Like we'll figure something out tomorrow. And then Friday, I've said it a few times this week, but Friday, we'll have a big baseball slate, but I have stuff to do in the afternoon. So we're actually doing a 12 noon lunchtime WAG show stream on Friday. So tomorrow, the normal show, 3 o'clock, we might talk some NFL or something. We'll see how big the slate is. Friday, the stream is going to be at 12 noon. and we'll have a lot to talk about because it'll be a big baseball slate. But thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Good luck with your bets tonight. Sign up for the premium. We've been hitting the plays of the day at an insane rate, up over 15 units for baseball season. betkarma.com/pricing. Get in the Discord, get in the premium channels. I'll be in there sweating the bets out tonight with you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So good luck with your bets tonight. I'll see you guys on Thursday.